Hey guys, it's Bob Ferngren and I'm back with another 8-minute video on network marketing. And my hope, my prayer is that my long journey can help cut down your learning curve. You know, I've explained this to people in the past. There's just some people who just get it. I mean, by faith, they see the vision, they hear from someone who has had success. Here's the system, do this, do it consistently, never quit, and it starts working. You know, but for the most part, the vast majority of us tend to learn by the school of hard knocks. In other words, yeah, we heard about that vision thing and we know that we're supposed to follow a system, but we're going to do it our way, okay? Or our interpretation of the system. And you know, some people have influence. They might have some very good results, especially short term. People with influence tend to do well, you know, short term. But then when you give up on the system, or you're doing a system that's not duplicatable, the vast majority of people you bring in behind you are going to do what you do, which means they won't follow the system, and then it doesn't work. Because remember, in our business, it really doesn't matter if it works. It matters if it duplicates. For those of you who want to build something, you know, bigger, help more people, achieve your goals and dreams, you know, if they're bigger than, say, a couple $100 a week. So in some previous videos, I talked to you about some things that were really kind of timeless and non-negotiable. In order to be successful in network marketing, you have to have very, very clear goals. And if somebody's brand new to this goal thing, maybe I'm going month-to-month goals with them. If they're a little bit more mature, maybe they can handle 6-month goals. But the real key for long-term success is to really start thinking long-term. Successful people have annual goals. Wealthy people have 5 and 10-year goals. So my goal is always to take people on that journey to looking longer range. Because see, if you can see your preferred better future, right? So now you know everything you're doing is getting you closer to or further away from your goals. And by the way, I believe that. I believe that everything you do gets you closer to or further from your goals. So if you have very, very clear 1-year, 5-year goals, let's say, they're crystal clear. Now, everything you do is put through that filter. Is this helping me get closer to my goals? Or is this helping me get further away from my goals? And so then what happens is you just start accumulating wins. I mean, if you really, really, really want those goals. The second thing I told you is that people have to have clear purpose. You see, knowing what you want is one thing. You have to have the reason why. See, that's the gasoline in the car. The car's not going to go very far. You know, the car is like your goals are written down on a sheet of paper, maybe even a vision board. But unless you're fueling that with your purpose, your reason why, and man, you know, short term, it can be things like getting out of debt, student loans, stop working, you know, 2 and 3 jobs. Longer term, you stay on this journey and you're into personal growth, you're going to understand very, very clearly that by staying on the journey, you're going to find out your true purpose, the reason why God has you on this planet. And that's kind of cool. Next, I talked to you about action. You know, and action is actually where you're actually conversing with a human. Everything else we do tends to be busy work. It doesn't necessarily produce results. When we're talking to people, I've made this clear, certainly that can be in messaging, certainly that can be through Zooms, that can be through video conferences, that can be through any number of ways that you are communicating, mostly listening, and helping to direct, coach, mentor, help someone make a decision, All those things that we do, and you can stack all those up in the value added category. And then the other thing I talked to you about was relationships. Relationships. That this is a relationship based business. We are all connected. When you choose to disconnect from it, one, clearly your people aren't going to connect, but you start missing things along the journey. Now I know that people are busy. I know there's people that make ridiculous amounts of money in network marketing, but don't have the time for every Zoom, for every training. They're at the important ones. They would never miss corporate events. They would be there for the important ones. So I understand that. I understand it. But they're at enough that they can say definitively that they're plugged in. It's not a wishy-washy thing. And so because they're plugged in, then their people will tend to stay plugged in, which means the relationship, the network part of this is working. There's a whole lot more on all of that. But today I want to zero in a little bit more on action, right? See, action is kind of the antidote for everything. If you are talking to new people every day, if you are following up on people every day, if you are helping people with their questions, their coaching, their encouragement every day, if you are introducing your people to your coach, sponsor, mentors every day, if you're doing those things, again, some days you can do a lot, right? Some days you can do a lot. Don't fool yourself. There's 168 hours in the week, and you've seen how mega performers fill in a week. You don't have to be a mega performer. You just have to do, I tell people this all the time. It's 8 to 12 hours a week in communication with humans. You're talking to humans, however that is. Again, digitally, video, phone, face-to-face. That's where the business is. The business is talking to humans. Action, 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 action. The cool thing about action is if you're in action, you can do this wrong and it'll start working. What? Yeah, I'm not talking about anything immoral or illegal or not following your company's policies and procedures, but stay with me. You can do this wrong, it'll start working. You, of course, can do it right, and it'll start working. The only thing that I know for sure, and I can guarantee it, that has an assured outcome is doing nothing. Every day you do nothing, you're further from your goals. If you've made the commitment to work this thing 5 or 6 days a week, you will eventually get to your goals. Again, some days maybe only one thing. Some days maybe you do 10 to 20 things. But you have to do something every day to move the ball down the court. And we'll talk more about what those things are. Don't wait on me, because remember, I just said you can do it wrong. Well, what do you mean by that? Gosh, you could say the wrong things to people, but if they're the right people, they get it. You can say all the right things to the wrong people, and if they're the wrong people, they don't get it anyways. The only thing that doesn't work is if you're not opening your mouth or using your thumbs or doing the things it takes to share the message. I mean, if you really look at it, if you narrow down what our job is, we share something we're excited about, our preferred better future, amazing products that we're on. We ask people if they'd like to see more. If they'd like to see more, we start exposing them to videos and team groups and introducing them to our coach, sponsor, mentor. Along that path, we allow them to make the decision to buy or not. So I don't have to sell? Well, you can try selling. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, and lots of people do that. But what I prefer is to allow the prospect to make the decision by constantly exposing them to more information. That's a great form of action. Now, once they're on board, yes, you're coaching them to their results. You're introducing them to more people because they may choose to want to go on, grow, and build a team. So you want to always do that too. But hey, action will lead you to all the answers you're seeking here. Non-action is going to do nothing for you. So be in action. Be in action. Hey, let's go.